I have got another book for us to look at today. Miss, written by Julia Donaldson. I'm not going to lie, not one of her best works. I mean, this is no Gruffalo, but never has a book depicted the struggles of teacher life better than this one. So let's take a look. So straight away, the front cover, just look at the state of Miss here. She's just rocking that stressed teacher look there. I mean, check out the hair, scruffled in absolute bits. I mean, the white shirt isn't telling the full story. I mean, there's no sort of snot on there. There's no sort of paint marks or chalk from the display. How annoying is that, by the way, when you accidentally lean up to a display of artwork that's been made in chalk and then it ends up all over your top? But other than that, I mean, she's panicking here about getting the lesson plans in. She's got a pot of pens, each of which she has to use to follow the non-negotiables in the marking policy. Red for adverbs, yellow for next steps, all that sort of nonsense. But, you know, hats off to the illustrator for being able to depict a teacher on the brink. And I've never been able to relate to a story character more than this one. Buzz off, Bill, Tess screams as Bill makes his way for a hat. I'm not being funny, Tess. Give the man a break. Look at this kid's hair. Looks like Marv from Home Alone 2 and he's electrocuted. This guy needs a hat just to cover that mess. You know what I mean? Help a brother out. I will tell Miss Hill. Of course you will, Tess, because teachers love a little telltale. Miss, Bill has got my hat. And here's Miss Hill. The day hasn't even started yet she's had a morning briefing session where she's been told she's got 3 observations, 2 book scrutinies and a partridge in a pear tree. So she's already stressed to the eyeballs, and now Tess is just, you know what I mean? I don't know what that is. Is that a stock cupboard behind there, or is that a place she goes to just cry when she's stressed with everything? Buzz off, Bill, as he's walking round, sort of touching everyone's head. Bill, come on, settle down, lad. I gave you benefit of the doubt this morning, but you can't be doing that. Again, sort your hair out, will you? Miss, Bill has got my pen. Well, to be honest, the way budgets are at the minute, you're going to have to share. I mean, to be fair, Miss Hill looks like she's more annoyed at the lad for snitching than Bill here. I mean, you've got to have a word with Bill, or maybe it's one of these where it's only positive reinforcement, so Bill can act like a little so-and-so, but we've just got to praise Bill's efforts. Well done for holding that pen, Bill. If you wouldn't mind giving it back. And look at this doll here, the voodoo doll of Miss Hill. Build-A-Bear's got nothing on how true the representation of this teacher doll is. Buzz off, Bill, as they're playing football. Miss, Bill has got the ball. We're playing a game of football. Miss Hill here trying to go to VAR, but she's got no chance. And to be fair, she's just absolutely miffed. She's on break duty again. But let's be honest, Miss Hill, where's your high vis, eh? Ofsted will have your pants down for that. And I love this kid here. He's that kid in your class who likes to pretend that they're the teacher. I mean, he's got that teacher stare down and on point. You know, that kid, he just wants to pretend to be you. Look. Buzz off, Bill. Oh, he's at it again. Miss, Bill has got my pot. I'm more concerned with the picture you've drawn there when it's supposed to be a picture of Jack and Jill up the hill. This is the one I made earlier, and this is what you've created. I think you need to knuckle down and concentrate on what you're doing. Don't worry about Bill. Bill's obviously going to have to take the part because we've only got one in the whole class because of government budget cuts. So don't worry about that. You just get on with that picture, because I'm not being funny. That ain't expected standard, and it ain't going to help me when I've got to show it during our mock deep dive of the quality of work we've got in art. Buzz off, Bill. Miss, Bill is in a mess. Well, at least they've got the alliteration down. I mean, you're covering that in your spag. But I'm not being funny. I think Miss Hill's in more of a mess than Bill, with everything she's having to put up with at the minute. And then the bell goes. Yes, the bell. Ecstasy on Mrs. Hill's face. We can all relate. We know we have those days where you're just counting down the seconds and the bliss of that bell ringing. And here Miss Hill now gets on the bus home, just jumping in front of the renegade there, who is enjoying her well-earned retirement, and poor Miss Hill having to take bags and bags of marking home because she'll spend the night following all the non-negotiables from the marking policy, highlighting things in 5 different colours, writing next steps even though all these little cherubs can't even read what she says. Miss Hill gets off the bus, and as she enters a house, buzz off Ross. Mum, Ross has got my doll. The life of a teacher right there. Stress, pressure, anxiety. But, 6 weeks till Easter holidays.